From dangerous masterminds to elusive criminals who've evaded capture for years, the FBI's most wanted list is filled with some of the most notorious fugitives still on the run. In today's video, we're counting down the top 10 most wanted criminals who have managed to disappear without a trace. Some are violent, some cunning, but all have left authorities in a relentless pursuit. Let's dive into the dark world of America's most dangerous fugitives. Number 10 on the list is Victor Manuel Gerena, one of the most notorious fugitives in U.S. history. In 1983, he orchestrated one of the largest cash heists in American history, stealing $7 million from a Wells Fargo armored car facility in West Hartford, Connecticut. Gerena, a former Wells Fargo employee, overpowered two security guards, tied them up, injected them with an unknown substance to incapacitate them, and made off with the money. He was believed to have fled to Cuba with the help of a Puerto Rican nationalist group known as Los Macheteros. In May of 1984, Gerena became the 386th fugitive added to the list, evading the authorities for decades. Ruja Ignatova, known as the Crypto Queen, founded OneCoin, a cryptocurrency that promised massive returns. However, it was all a sinister scam, defrauding investors of over $4 billion. Ignatova convinced people worldwide to invest in her fake currency, claiming it was the next big thing after Bitcoin. But in 2017, as authorities began closing in, she vanished without a trace. Some believe she's hiding in Europe, or may have undergone plastic surgery to avoid capture. The FBI added her to the most wanted in June of 2022, being their 527th fugitive. With millions missing and her whereabouts unknown, Ruja Ignatova remains one of the most wanted fugitives in the world. Her reward is said to be as high as $5 million. At number 8, we have Eugene Palmer, who is wanted for the murder of his daughter-in-law in 2012. After shooting her in a dispute, Palmer fled into the dense woods of upstate New York. Despite extensive manhunts, he remains on the run. Some believe he may be hiding in the wilderness, living off the land, while others think he may have succumbed to the elements. Palmer was added to the FBI Most Wanted on May 29, 2019, as fugitive number 523, and there is currently a $100,000 reward for information leading to his capture. Coming in at number 7 is the youngest fugitive on the list, 25-year-old Alejandro Castillo, who is wanted for the 2016 murder of his ex-girlfriend, Sandy Lai Lay, in North Carolina. After luring her under the pretense of repaying a debt, Castillo is believed to have forced Lay to empty her bank account with her ATM card, then drove to the woods and shot her in the head. He was last seen on CCTV crossing the border into Mexico, where he is still believed to be hiding. Alejandro was added to the FBI Most Wanted on October 24, 2017, as the 516th fugitive, and still remains on the list. There is currently a $250,000 reward for information leading to his capture. Number 6 on the countdown is Arnoldo Jimenez, who is wanted for the 2012 murder of his wife just hours after their wedding. Jimenez allegedly stabbed her to death in a fit of rage and left her body in the bathtub of her apartment. After the crime, he fled and is believed to be hiding in Mexico. Jimenez became the 522nd fugitive to be added to the FBI Most Wanted on May 8, 2019, and today, he remains in the top 10. There is currently a $250,000 reward for information leading to the capture of Jimenez. A charming con artist, Jason Derek Brown is wanted for a 2004 murder and armed robbery in Arizona. Brown is accused of shooting 24-year-old Robert Keith Palomares, an armored truck guard, outside a movie theater, then making off with $56,000. Known for blending in and changing his appearance, he has evaded authorities for nearly 2 decades and could be hiding anywhere in the U.S. or abroad. Brown was added to the FBI Most Wanted on December 8, 2007. He was, however, removed from the top 10 in September of 2022. Yet the whereabouts of Jason Derek Brown remain a puzzling mystery. The reward for information leading to his capture stands at $200,000. Fourth on our list is Alexis Flores, wanted for the kidnapping and murder of 5-year-old Iriana DeJesus in Philadelphia back in 2000. Flores was added to the FBI Most Wanted on June 2, 2007, and the Honduran native has been on the run ever since. The FBI believes he may have fled to Honduras, where he continues to evade capture. There is currently a $250,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. Glenn Stewart Godwin's story is one of escape and cunning, earning him a notorious spot on the FBI's Most Wanted list, added on December 7, 1996, as fugitive number 447. In 1987, Godwin was convicted of murdering a drug dealer in California and sentenced to life in prison. But Godwin wasn't content to stay behind bars. That same year, he pulled off a daring escape from the high-security Folsom State Prison by tunneling through a storm drain and into the American River, before fleeing into the night, essentially being the same method Andy Dufresne would use to escape from Shawshank. He was later recaptured in Mexico for drug trafficking, but even there, his ability to outsmart authorities didn't end. In 1991, while awaiting extradition to the U.S., Godwin escaped yet again from a Mexican prison under suspicious circumstances, after reportedly killing another inmate. He has been on the run ever since, and despite the FBI's extensive efforts, he remains elusive. His intelligence, adaptability, and sheer determination to avoid capture have made him one of the most enduring fugitives in FBI history. The number 1 and 2 spots on the list are interchangeable. I consider neither of them worse than the other. The only distinction is probably the brutality. Both fugitives committed the most unthinkable of all crimes: familicide, killing the very people they are supposed to love and protect. At number 2 on the list is the first family annihilator, Robert William Fisher. Fisher appeared to live the American dream: a wife, 2 children, a steady job. But under the surface, his marriage was falling apart, and on April 10, 2001, his life took a terrifying and dark turn. Fisher allegedly murdered his wife, Mary, by shooting her in the head. Then, he cut the throats of his 2 children, 12-year-old Brittany and 10-year-old Bobby, before setting their Scottsdale home on fire to cover his tracks. After that, Fisher disappeared. Authorities found Fisher's SUV abandoned in the desert near the Tonto National Forest, but Robert himself was nowhere to be found. Despite being added to the FBI's Most Wanted list in 2002, Robert William Fisher has remained a ghost, evading capture for over 2 decades. Has Fisher started a new life, blending into society unnoticed, or is he hiding deep in the wilderness? His case remains one of the most baffling mysteries in FBI history. Now for number 1 on the list, let's rewind to March 1st, 1976, and shift our focus to William Bradford Bishop, a high-ranking State Department official living with his wife and 3 sons in Bethesda, Maryland. Bishop seemed to have it all, but stress and dissatisfaction simmered beneath the surface. On that fateful day, Bishop allegedly snapped. He bludgeoned his wife, Annette, his mother, Lobelia, and his 3 sons, 5-year-old Jeffrey, 10-year-old Brenton, and 14-year-old William, with a hammer and a shovel. He loaded their bodies into his station wagon and drove them over 200 miles to a remote part of North Carolina, where he buried them in a shallow grave and set them on fire. After abandoning his car in the Great Smoky Mountains, Bishop disappeared into thin air. Investigators have followed leads around the globe, from Italy to Switzerland, but Bishop remains elusive. He was added to the FBI's Most Wanted list in 2014, nearly 40 years after the crime. Like Fisher, Bishop could be anywhere. Sightings over the years suggest he's still alive, but the question remains: where is William Bradford Bishop? These 2 men, Robert William Fisher and William Bradford Bishop, are a chilling reminder that the most dangerous people can live right next door, or even under the same roof. Both fled their crimes, leaving behind families destroyed and questions unanswered. With decades on the run, will they ever be caught? If you have any information on any of these fugitives, contact the FBI immediately at 1-800-CALL-FBI or 1-800-225-5324. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.